dear people of Earth, I have an urgent message to share. Please note that this message is not to create fear, but to create awareness that people can work together to help life on this planet survive. Please, I do not take credit for this video. Please download, re-upload it and share it and treat it as anonymous, as it is the message that is important and not the person that has created the message. I am doing this video because I am concerned about the survival of people and life on this planet, and that there is still time to do something, and can only be done if people get together and do something. Follow these suggestions. I have done this video due to the poor response on my previous video. Urgent message: please clear out the anti-extraterrestrial hate BS. Hopefully people would focus on the message and not me, and reject this message because I am not mainstream, or I am an extravagant intersex artist that does not conform to the norm and is not mainstream. First of all, as you know, Fukushima has a nuclear catastrophe, and it has been kept from you by government authorities and not fully covered in the media that radiation is still being spilled out of this damaged nuclear plant. The radiation is still being spewed out, and is spreading across the planet. I have estimated that within 20 years, if nothing has been done or nothing has intervened to neutralize this radiation, which all life would cease to exist on this planet. This estimate or assumption I have based on the observation of the existing spreading of radiation at this present moment, and the time of 20 years is only a rough estimate. I have been keeping watch on the fallout forecast on YouTube by someone who cares about you, and shares this information that people should know, because your governments do not care about you. Governments are too concerned by economy and money other than the people they're supposed to look after. This observation proves that governments are nothing but human farmers and countries are nothing but human farms to exploit people as livestock, to be slaves to the economy, which is the monetary system of this planet. The person who provides the fallout forecasts is Rad Chick on YouTube. I do recommend you subscribe to her channel to keep an update on the fallout forecast and observe how radiation is. From the observations, I have estimated that the entire northern hemisphere could be contaminated within the next 5 years, and the entire planet in the next 10 to 15 years, and life to cease to exist in the next 20 years. Some facts to support these estimates. Nuclear expert: melted nuclear core could go up to a half-mile into Earth. Video, posted, the 13th of July 2012, 11:09 p.m., 1 million becquerels/kg of cesium detected at Fukushima school. After being decontaminated, it's obvious they will just leave it, local official posted, the 13th of July 2012, 4:41 p.m. Japanese journalist: like Palestine at Tokyo protest, iron fence erected as last resort of Prime Minister's regime, posted, the 13th of July 2012, 1:58 p.m. Reactor number 3 may pose a problem for efforts to remove melted fuel at bottom. No sign of water leakage from suppression chamber, posted, the 13th of July 2012, 11:36 a.m. Evacuee, Fukushima hospital worker says 5 out of 7 babies were born with birth defect, Down syndrome, or lost by miscarriage. After this, husband agreed to evacuate, posted, the 13th of July 2012, 10:20. The only solutions to solve this problem is that scientists should get together and derive a solution to neutralize the radiation, since the known Earth scientists are incapable of doing something, and will complain about funding etc. and there is not much time. People would have to ask help from the extraterrestrial, who are technologically capable of neutralizing radiation with ease. It has also been said to say that HAARP technologies can use to neutralize radiation, which have been used and is being used as a weapon by the industrial military complex. This only seems to shield from the fallout in certain areas, but does not seem to stop the disaster, and could extend the existence of life for another 10 years and prolong the spreading if implemented. However, from observing how people know the government sits on UFO technology and does not distribute and utilize it as an alternative form of transport and energy for the people on this planet, how would this be implemented? Would there be enough resources and funding to carry out this, or when this does get accepted, would this be implemented on time, or would it? I suggest one need to make contact with their creators, the Elohim, who are extraterrestrials, which bioengineered life on this planet and humanity. They are not aliens. The word alien is a political correct term that had been implemented by the military when encountered by extraterrestrial people. A foreigner, a one who is not a naturalized citizen of the country where they are living. An alien is a person in a country who is not a citizen of that country. Now that does not give respect to other people on other planets, particularly the people who bioengineered life on this planet, who put a lot of time and work to create people through a controlled evolutionary process, which one would call eugenics. First of all, those who agree to the fact that extraterrestrials bioengineered life on this planet, and evolution just did not only happen perchance as expressed in Darwinism. Humanity was not created to be slaves or to be emotional food for extraterrestrial entities. This is all misinformation and stupidity. Think, it would be stupid for people on another planet to terraform, bioengineer humanity through an evolutionary processes following the model of a development life cycle out of love to create people to mine gold, when the extraterrestrials themselves have advanced enough technology to create conscious beings that can feel and think, to live in pain and suffering to mine gold. Another nonsensical theory I have heard is that they claim they created people to feed of negative emotions, which is ridiculous and preposterous. These concepts are nothing but nonsense to detour you from. First of all, I would like people to clear out the hatred and anti-extraterrestrial nonsense and increased xenophobia on this planet, to take notice of the misinformation of those who have had personal experiences and those particularly made things up in order to profit from the subject other than provide the truth of their experiences. The cover-ups of the government and the technology they practically sit on, which would provide one of the foundational stepping stones to create a planet without money and slavery known as work. The hatred that has been created and inflicted onto extraterrestrials by the media and Hollywood religious fanatics, where they call extraterrestrials demons. From the claims of them being extra-dimensional, failing to understand that their advanced technology gives them the appearance of being extra-dimensional. It would be the same as saying the Star Trek crew using the transporter as being extra-dimensional. This is silly, and there is no time to muck about on the subject but to focus on the truth. To people like David Icke and the reptilian agenda, who shares truth with added imagination to profit from it. I am also upset and concerned that people need to contact the extraterrestrials and request their help, when unfortunately there are talks and rumors of the false flag terrorism attack for the 2012 London Olympics, the last guard that Carol Rosine had mentioned, which is a fake alien invasion which would make it difficult for people to request help and support from the extraterrestrials, where your governments fail to provide you the help, funding and technology to neutralize the radiation. This last card is nothing but the sick tactics of the industrial military complex and the bigwig men involved, who discuss the fate of people's lives at the all-male Bohemian Grove, where evidence of this has been noted that the bomb had been dropped on Hiroshima, who are involved in superstitious schizophrenic beliefs and rituals which disconnect from cosmic culture to connect spirituality with science. There is not enough evidence that this would be the last card, or it would be another 911 inside-like job. If nothing happens, the fear would cause to people's outlook on extraterrestrials. But not only that, the United Kingdom would have become a police state like in the movie 1984, with more surveillance, policing, control and conformity. And extraterrestrials are not aliens, demons, alien monsters, but people like yourselves. They are not to be grouped as a specific race, since many ethnic groups of extraterrestrials were involved in the bioengineering of life on this planet, including its terraforming. This racial xenophobic classification of them is to be blamed by your government and religious organizations that categorize people into specific racial groups. I recommend people to get together, set aside your differences and understand the value of life, and to at least 1 minute per day to meditate to send telepathic messages to the extraterrestrials and project love, compassion, understanding and acceptance as recommended by your matriarch, a friend of mine. They would welcome the people of Earth with open hands and hearts. If you are skeptic about telepathy and the science involved with it, I would recommend you build your own radio transmitters and send the signals out into space. Understand that if you do not agree with the idea of them bioengineering life on this planet, to understand that you are not alone in the universe, this galaxy and this cluster of stars. They are people like yourselves who have consciousness. The greys that you know and that you see in the media are not truly the greys that you know. They are like you, conscious human beings, but appear as small children. Their bio-suits give them the alien appearance, like what was expressed in the movie Prometheus with the space jockey. This is a controversial subject. Some of their biological robots appear like their bio-suits as. The term abduction is a vague and stupid term, and often gives insight into fear and misunderstanding when people have had some sort of experiences. I have noted experiences from people such as the one Carol Rosine and a friend experienced. Same experience but different perception, the one told in fear and the other that was told with no fear, but it was an amazing experience. I don't know why some people would turn their experiences into nightmares, adding to the pool of misinformation from their misunderstandings and fears. Please, much love and huggles namaste, from someone is not of this earth and cares about you and a friend of the earth.